The MCU's losing its momentum. If there's any time for DC Comics to make a comeback, it's right now.
He's heating up!
I feel like the MCU is struggling to find its footing post-Infinity War saga. A lot of these TV shows and movies that they've been doing have been mediocre. A couple good ones, a couple not so good ones, a couple really not so good ones. But for the most part, it's all leading up to something that's much bigger. Just because they're building up to something bigger, it still has to be executed properly. Like if you go to a restaurant and you have an appetizer and it tastes like trash, you are not going to be excited for the main course regardless of what the waiter tells you. And you know what, that appetizer, it does taste like dirt, but man, wait till you have this prime rib, bruh. This prime rib's gonna be amazing, even though what you just ate tastes like some expired milk. James Gunn is a very interesting case because he went from working for Marvel to getting fired by Marvel to getting hired by DC to getting rehired by Marvel to taking over for DC, man. This dude's a double agent. A lot of people are upset and in their feelings that Henry Cavill will not be returning as Superman. Me, myself, personally, I was upset. I liked Man of Steel. Contrary to what everyone else says, I actually enjoyed it. But in the bigger scheme of things, it was the right thing to do. But there cannot be any hypocrisy. Problem with a lot of the DC universe as of recently is that it was too scattered. Throwing a bunch of things up against the wall, praying that something sticks. I mean, yeah, you probably try to get something going with the Justice League, but then with all the falling out and all the drama that happened from that, the whole thing was discombobulated. So obviously, it would make sense for you to reset everything, right? The reason why the MCU works so well is because of the momentum that was continuously built throughout the individual movies. But when you're doing something like Batman vs. Superman, which could have been an amazing jumpstart for this universe, you're throwing in all of these other characters. It almost felt overwhelming. Now, obviously, people who follow the DC comics, they know who Cyborg is, they know who Wonder Woman is, they know who Superman is and Green Lantern, and everyone else in between. However, you have to approach these movies as if nobody has ever heard of these characters before. Now, obviously, if you show a picture of Superman to someone who has never read a comic book, they are going to know who that is. That's not the point. Point is to build a relationship with these characters. Life is a feeling process, and however you feel about these characters at the beginning of their journey to the end of their journey, it's a feeling nonetheless. We either want to see them succeed or fail. We're either happy for them or mad at them. So when you try to bring all these characters together for something like the Justice League and expect for us to care about, oh my god, look what happened to Cyborg, he had such a terrible backstory that we're gonna show you in like 15 minutes. And it's rushed development, we don't really care what happens to them or not. So outside of all of that noise, you have someone like Ben Affleck who leaves. And then they give the keys over to Robert Pattinson. Now granted, Ben Affleck did come back, but let's ask ourselves the real question. Did he really come back because he was passionate about the project? He did it as a favor to Zack Snyder, which is not a problem. My only question is, does this apply for the Suicide Squad? Does this apply for Peacemaker? And apparently, he's not pulling the plug on Wonder Woman, which honestly, I want to know why not. Once again, if continuity is the issue, then Gal Gadot no longer needs to play Wonder Woman. We need to use facts over feelings. There is no way, shape, or form that they would be able to write a reasoning on why it's just Gal Gadot and all of these other new people and she acts like, oh, hey guys, everything is normal. You were the same way that you were yesterday and we're never going to acknowledge this. And if they do try to acknowledge it, it probably won't be a good explanation. If you are wanting to get on the same level as the MCU, there are things that need to be handled and taken care of as far as where you're going with your vision. Main reasons why this is such a big deal is because Ben Affleck left the DC universe. Had Ben Affleck not left the DC universe, I think it wouldn't be an issue for James Gunn to come in and right some of those wrongs. Even if the Justice League didn't work out, even if Batman vs. Superman didn't work out, because you still have the main people that are involved within the original movie. So you would be able to smooth things out, give people their proper story, and move forward. It may be awkward, but you would be able to move forward and it would make more sense. At that point, they already put out the brand new Batman movie, they already casted a brand new Batman, so it wouldn't really make sense for him to come back. Continuity means everything if you're trying to build a cinematic universe. Now, there's the situation with Ezra Miller. It's very simple. Recast him. And I know that may sound hypocritical, but Ben Affleck's Batman has a lot more to play as far as the inception of the DC comic universe than Ezra Miller's Flash. Everything needs to go. James Gunn can't just pick and choose just because he wrote it and directed it. He has the master key, so honestly, it really doesn't matter. He can do whatever he wants. But if he wants to do this the right way, everything needs to go. And yes, that means Superman.
He's heating up!